Joining us now, Republican Congressman from Illinois and member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Congressman Darren LaHood. Congressman, thanks for joining us on American Agenda. How do you think this is all going to play out? The president seems confident.
Well, Katrina and Bob, thanks for having me on. Democrats are in disarray. I think you're seeing that. They can't come up with a plan. And I'm glad you played those clips of Chuck Schumer at the very beginning. I mean, it's really rich for him to say that he wants to shut down the government, but it is the Schumer shutdown if the government does shut down. Remember what we did in the House just 2 days ago. We passed the CR with bipartisan support. We had a Democrat that supported us on passing that. The ramifications that will happen if Schumer shuts down the government to our veterans, to our military, to core services in our government, this shouldn't happen, and most Democrats know what they should do here in following President Trump's leadership and what we did in the House, and hopefully they'll be able to do that.
Congressman, part of what Chuck Schumer said is he, wants bipartisan legislation. You say it is, so what's he talking about? Exactly.
I want to hear him explain to us why it wasn't bipartisan when we passed it in the House. I've not seen any articulation of that. And again, going back to his own words over the course of his career on voting to never shut down the government, that seems pretty rich right now. And I've not heard him articulate any justification for wanting to shut down the government.
Congressman, I want to switch gears here. I want to ask you about an exchange from the hearing last week with Blue City mayors on sanctuary cities. Let's listen.
Do you acknowledge breaking into our country as a crime?
I acknowledge.
Yes or no?
I acknowledge.
Okay, Honorable Johnson, he's not going to answer the question. Yes or no? Is breaking into our country against the law? Yes or no?
Depends how you cross the border.
Okay, Mayor Johnson, yes or no?
Comprehensive immigration reform policies are what's necessary.
Reminds me of when some other leaders were asked if they know the difference between a man and a woman. They just don't seem to know the answer.
Well, I participated in that hearing. I waved on and asked a number of really tough questions of Mayor Johnson of Chicago. It's absolutely ridiculous. They continue to hide behind sanctuary cities. But what's about to happen under the Trump administration, they're going to find out what it means if they continue to not enforce immigration laws, not to enforce the rule of law that we have on the books, and not to comply with federal law enforcement officials. I think that hearing highlighted for the American people just how out of touch those mayors are. And I would add, Katrina, the mayor of Chicago has an approval rating of 6.6%. That's not a mistake. He has a 6% approval rating because of his terrible policies when it comes to immigration, super low morale with law enforcement, people fleeing the city of Chicago. And that was apparent last week at that hearing.
Yeah, Congressman, I also want to note you tweeted out or put out on X 51,000 illegals into Chicago, the city, more than $600 million spent on that. Staggering numbers there you're having to deal with in your state. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thank you.